What's up, my precious little pack, and welcome back to VEGA Conflict. I've been waiting for news about the new ship to come out, the Cruiser, and its name has now been announced, as well as what it will be doing in game, and as you can see, I'm recording just before the downtime. I figured that this would be the best time to do it, so I can get the information out sooner for myself, as well as my opinions, and this video will be fairly short because there isn't that much info. Let's get right into it. First and foremost, the name of the ship is the Wraith Cruiser. It is interesting how they put it. Greetings all, the Umbra faction has infested the galaxy. The first of the Umbra's new hulls is the Wraith Cruiser and its unique ability to jam enemy weapons. The new aberrative armor. Yes, I know it's actually said in an entirely different way. It's just how I always say it because it sounds a little bit funny when I say it like that. And it is possessed only by the Umbra and allows damage done to enemy ships to replenish its own defenses. Destroying enemy ships restores defenses quicker. This is going to be interesting, as they say. So just from this statement, it seems as though, similar to how the Marauders work, we now have fully self-regenerating ships based on damage done. I may actually produce sets of the Wraith Cruisers along with certain weapons, because if they can avoid repair time, this is going to be the biggest exploit for them. If they can avoid repair time, they will be capable of avoiding it by simply farming and farming and farming. And let's go ahead and let's take a look at the new features. Encounter. Altarians are attempting to capture Umbra ships in a new research divisions. These encounters will consist of 2 Altarian waves of attack followed by an assault on the holding areas where the Umbra Wraith Cruisers are being held captive. Not to be outdone, Demon Corps are also trying to capture these new foes in the lowest level targets. Does that mean, since the Umbra targets have a lower build requirement, that this is actually a step for the lower level players to be able to step up into the game again so they can get top tier content? If it is, kudos to Kickstarter on that. If it isn't, if the targets are improperly balanced for their level, well, I'm gonna have to say something about it, as I always do. Encounter. Nebulon fields are a new element that adds tactical scenarios to the battle. I don't say field because typically they corner us and there's not much of a field to play upon. Passing through a nebula can damage your fleet unless you have the necessary resistances to pass through. Okay. The first nebula to be encountered is the Blight Nebula, a new damage type. Damage type. The Umbra brings with it an unknown damage source called Blight that consumes hulls and living things alike. Now this is what caught me as interesting when I read it on the forum. It says it consumes hulls and living things alike. It interests me because as it stands right now, the only living things is crews on board the ships, and we never actually see nor interact with them. We only interact with the vessel through which they're all stored upon. And more on that later, as it's actually interesting. The ship, the Wraith Cruiser, is the creation of the mysterious Umbra faction, emerging from the depths of blood amber infested space. They can jam enemy weapons and heal their own defenses by doing damage or destroying enemy vessels. Now remember, the Umbra faction will have no shields, but will be focused more on aggressive tactics. With this new armor, they will be regenerating health from how it seems from my perspective for damage done and targets destroyed. And the weapon that comes with them is a new Nova cannon. It is an upgrade over the Nova Ray, offering a more potent energy power source. The projectiles explode into a star formation on impact. The aberrative tungsten armor, A new shield defense where damage doing replenishes. Really? We're doing damage replenishes protection. Yeah. I apologize about the misreadings. By feeding off the damage done to enemies. More details to be unveiled soon, so we can expect it to be before the start of the event. Tech. New Umbra armor. Sunanian armor. Enhances the conversion of battlefield debris from enemy ships to restore aberrative armor. So the ships can heal via the tungsten aberrative armor. Interesting. Which actually, as I stated, restores the health of the ships. Again, they have no shields, but just fighting heals them. So as they're brawling, they're effectively regenerating. Or so it seems. This is all stuff we can assume for now until it's guaranteed. The magnetic collar increases the amount of battlefield debris gained each hit for the aberrative armor, keeping Umbra vessels in battle for longer without hull damage. That catches my eye again. It keeps them in combat longer without hull damage. Are they getting some type of shield over it and I'm just misreading it? Well, I'm curious to see what happens. The first of its kind PvP stasis weapon, the Void Net Burst Torpedo, was developed under special Marauder research to give an advantage when engaging other ships in PvP. And I'm going to call kicks out on this one. If I'm not mistaken, the Scourge fuel applies to both Missile class and Torpedo class. Am I correct? If so, this will be another kick to the face to low-level players that are fighting tyrants that are trying to use cutter fleets, because now the souped-up ship will just turn, run, and slow you down at the same time it kills your cutters, so you have no effective counter to it just because of this one weapon. And it was developed under the special Marauder research to give an advantage to engage other ships in PvP. The bug fixes. The fix an issue where new players were missing the start mission button. Okay. Phoenix frigate is now stored correctly in the other frigate's workshop. I saw that as well in game, and I was a bit annoyed by it. I'm glad that's actually fixed visually. For the new Marauders, the button Craft Mark Upgrade now appears correctly. Interesting, I had no problem with the mark upgrade. All of mine have been crafting just fine up to Mark IV for my Blackguard cruisers. Other minor bug fixes. Yep, I wish they would say what those other minor bug fixes were. How much time do we have left? We have plenty of time. Let's go ahead and let's share a little bit of thought about the upcoming ship. Now, there is a certain YouTuber that has pulled what we believe for now on their channel to be the upcoming ship's model. And I originally said it looked like a ship that had been overtaken by a mutation. And actually I never mentioned it because I actually cut that part out of a video. It looks interesting if it is the vessel. If it isn't, well, so be it. I'll still wait to see what we get. It will be quite interesting to see what we actually have to fight. But it will be even more interesting to see how it functions and whether it will be worth building or not. But the even bigger question for me is it going to fall on the same level as the Phoenix does, in which it is allowed to be built at... Of course, this one doesn't have the Phoenix frigate, but the Phoenix frigate's build requirements are only Ship Factory level 10 and Ship Lab level 10, allowing greater accessibility to higher tier content. However, I do see it as being weaker than the Altarian counterpart. Now, why do I see it as being weaker? I'll explain it in a different video. There's going to be a lot of different videos of me explaining it, but I'll actually wait for those videos until around the time that more information is released so I can explain it and base it off of what I expect, and then compare it to what we actually can see in game. Now, I don't know if it will be visible after the downtime, but I can only hope. If not, I'll keep an eye on the game and I'll wait until it actually is available in-game to see. But, what do all of you think of the new Umbra Wraith, and what do all of you think it's going to be? Do you think it's going to have a shielding that it actually builds up in fight, or do you think it will actually have no shielding, as they said Umbra would have, and it will regenerate its health via its armor as it does damage and kills targets? Also, I would like to thank you all for every single view on any video that I post. The numbers keep going up and up and up, even when I don't upload for a few days at a time. And I really would like to resolve that so that there are videos going up each day, but at times I do get bored with recording for the videos when next to no one watches them, and I post a VEGA video and plenty of people watch them. So if you would like to see a certain type of content on the channel more often, if you've watched a video in the past that you don't see now, let me know and I'll add it to the schedule, because that's one of the biggest things is I want to know what you guys want to see and produce that. VEGA right now is the primary thing on the channel, and I believe it will stay that way and even grow a bit. Not a lot, but a bit. But that's going to be it for this video, everybody. If you liked the video, feel free to leave a like. If you have anything to say, if you have any statements, or if you would like to talk about the Umbra's new ship, the Wraith Cruiser, feel free to say so below in the comments section, and I'll actually try and talk about it in videos, towards the end of videos and things like that. Curiosity has me more so about this new ship than anything else. And if you guys like this content, feel free to subscribe for more, as always. And to address a few questions, well, specifically one question I actually failed to answer in my response, I do apologize. But it was asked in the comments section and I failed to respond properly. And the question was a two-part question. I answered the second half. The first half that I failed to answer was, do I have a Discord server? If so, what is the name of it, and could they get an invite code? I do have a Discord server right now, but I currently have no plans to use it until I see VEGA as being a more stable game that is more player-driven over what it currently is, because I see no value in actually opening it up when it may only be around for a short time frame, because I don't see VEGA as being a long-term game because of how the game is run. The player base has dropped significantly from the time I came back over a year ago. I'm sticking with the game, but I play less at times, and mainly I log in only towards Thursday, and it's mainly just for special events and things like that. The mobilizations, the main event, things like that. I don't even do the strikes anymore, which I should be, because I was actually collecting older technology so I could produce the older ships and things like that. But that's going to be it, everybody. And as always, I'll see you later.